right, Adventures LARP fans, I'm here with, what's your name, sir?
Ben Rhodes.
Ben. All right, Ben is another LARPer out here hanging with us at the LARP party. And Ben is actually trying to get his own game up and going. Tell me some more about that, Ben. What's it called? What kind of genre? Give me the spiel.
Okay. Well, it's called Shadows of Salus. It's a high fantasy with steampunk elements game. It's set approximately, you could say roughly around 1,000 actual Earth time, if we're talking here. Guns are a thing, but long story short, basically the setting involves you have a group of PCs who have just jumped to a new planet due to the fact that their planet has died in what's called the Sundering. More or less, the ozone layer collapsed and the planet dried up to the point to where it was no longer livable. And the PCs have managed to jump maybe hours before the planet basically is no longer livable. So now it's set in a setting where the PCs have to actually explore the new planet, struggle, try and gain resources and whatever, but the new planet is actually inhabited. And the PCs at this point don't actually know that. So,
most excellent. Fantasy steampunk on another planet. Kind of like, what do you like? It's part of this game.
Pretty much.
And I think you mentioned that you've already done at least one play test of it, right?
Yes, one successful play test. It was a mechanics play test just to test the rulebook. We had a 15-player turnout, not including myself. We were pretty pleased. There was a few minor technical issues we had to fix, but overall, the game seems to run great. So,
wonderful. What was your inspiration on getting going with this?
It was one part a game called Sovereign Scrolls, which was a game that actually brought me into LARPing. I've been LARPing there for 2 years. They have a fantasy steampunk setting as well. But from there, it started out with, okay, well, I know Nerf is big on certain aspects of LARP, and how do I get that into a game with swords and sorcery, basically? And so threw in a steampunk element, and this is actually the second iteration of the game. I started out with the first one and basically had to scrap it because the setting was crap. The rulebook was tedious to take care of, and so I just ran with that and said, okay, well, if I've got this lore and all this stuff already set up, let's just pretend this planet blew up and let's move on. So,
nice. When you start using Nerf guns in your game, do you find any sort of mechanics overpowering of the mega Nerf versus the smaller size darts?
In terms of the massive grenade launcher type LARPs, Nerf guns, we don't actually allow those. Just like fully automatic, we don't allow. Tried to keep the tech rather low to avoid that kind of overpowering broken aspect of it. But in terms of broken aspects for just the regular darts, no, we have the ability for the Tinkerer and what's known as the Tinker. It's basically a crafting class. It is a classless game, but a crafting aspect basically that allows them to add enchantments and other type effects on the bullets. So it's no different than someone shooting a bow. It's just another way to deliver effects.
I am a big fan of classless games, much more of the skill-based, like Mystic Crossroads. Where do you play this?
We play this in Tyler, Texas. At what's known as Youth with a Mission. It's a great site that we have, about 100 acres or so, with a village already built into the actual campus. But yeah, it's in Tyler, Texas. You can find us at shadowsofsaluslarp.com or look us up on Facebook at Shadows of Salus. Either way.
How often do you guys get together?
Once a month will be the game period, with occasional bi-monthly games in the effect that we can't do June and July because of the site. So we'll do doubles in potentially May and August to make up for that.
If newer players are coming to your game, what can they expect in the way of fees to play and costume needed and stuff like that?
We are high immersion, and we really encourage pretty much you to rep everything you can rep. Fees-wise, we charge $45 for the whole weekend. That includes basically a $20 site fee, insurances, and then also some additional funds to help keep the props running and up in basic maintenance. But in terms of costuming, first-time players, we understand especially if you're brand new, you never know if you want to even play this, so you may not want to spend a lot of money. So the goal is to eventually get up some loaner gear that you guys can wear and borrow from us so that you're not investing a lot of money, but still able to kind of pick up and play. And we're not expecting everybody to know the rulebook right off the bat, but at least the first 15-ish pages so you understand the basic concepts of what's going on.
Wonderful. I don't know that we covered this part, but how long exactly have you been playing LARP?
I've been LARPing just over 2 years now. Done a few LARPs, including Aftermath, which was based up near Oklahoma, Cyber Scrolls, like I mentioned before, and I did a little bit of Nero. So I've had a little bit of basis in my 2 years, but yeah, I've been LARPing myself for about 2 years.
So you mentioned that this game is in Tyler. For those of our fans outside of Texas, Tyler is not exactly as progressive as other areas of the world. Have you come across any problems or issues in the local folks and the fact that you LARP?
I have not. We actually have an Amtgard chapter up there as well that plays in a local park. But I've had no problems whatsoever, and the land we play on actually is private land with an organization that I'm associated with, so that tends to help a lot too.
Most excellent. Well, thank you for being on the show. We are going to hit you up later and do definitely more with your game and find out about it. So if you're in Tyler and you want to do some LARP, there you go. Look it up. Multiple groups it sounds like to play with, and this one sounds pretty darn cool.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, no problem. Hi, Adventures LARP fans, and welcome to another show. I'm Chris Glover, along with Matt Griffith and Courtney Manor, and we've had some fun with a game that we've been playing here, and we're going to continue on and have another round of LARP from a Hat. Totally not stolen from any other show ever with games from hats. No, not at all. All right, so the way we play this game is we each have a bowl here. We've got genres, character archetypes, and races, and we're each going to pick one out, and the goal of the game is that we have to come up with some sort of a game that connects these pieces. So, genre of sci-fi.
Milkman. I've been getting random ones.
The Milkman.
He's a Muppet.
Muppets.
So,
Sci-fi.
outer space Muppet Milkman.
Muppets
Game.
and Milkman game. All right, this is the challenge. I mean, the sci-fi at least, all kinds of things go.
Nice
That can be a nice and broad. But Muppets and milk delivery.
People to be a little more politically correct. Where the
I'm
heck
imagining
did you
it's
get
like-
Milkman anyway?
Like the old pigs in space thing, except now they have to be cows. Maybe.
Okay. Cows in space.
Cows in space.
Delivering from their own. That's
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a family show, folks. Okay. So, I don't know. I mean, that's utterly ridiculous.
First pun of the night. At least that I witnessed.
All right.
Huh.
So let's see. Involving milk. Well, see, the Muppets don't necessarily have to be milkmen necessarily. We just have to involve a race of Muppets and a class of milkmen. Let's see. What if it's more race to the finish type game, where one group is playing milkmen, trying to make their morning delivery, and they're besieged by Muppets.
Like Animal? would chase you down.
His head don't come off. What do you mean his head don't come off? Okay, I know that was an animal. But yes.
Milkman! Milkman! Ah!
I kind of like the idea of people in this game attempting to dress up like Muppets to be that.
Oh, I assumed that they would actually use puppets.
I suppose
on there,
Sock
so-
puppet?
I suppose that would
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
But what's going to be scarier to you, the Milkman? Somebody chasing you with a puppet, or somebody chasing you as the puppet?
Okay.
Either one could be scary depending on your particular phobias.
What? And unless your phobia is milk, and then we might have a problem with this game. This is not a lactose intolerant game.
It's not the milk that I'm concerned with, it's the man.
The milkman. Well, I mean,
The Milkman of Mars.
Martian milkmen.
It does have to be sci-fi, right?
Mm.
Space.
Maybe it's an attack. Maybe the milkmen are on the offensive, so it's marauding Martian milkmen. Stopped by the Muppets.
Hey, yeah, why not? I could see it working. I mean,
This would be more of one of those freebie apps than it would a LARP, I think. Outrun the Muppets or the oncoming milk delivery guy.
choose your side, choose your opponent. Actually, I could see this working as a LARP, I guess. It would be one of those silly, like, late at night convention LARPs, but it would be, like, just sheer ridiculousness. I could see it happening.
Okay.
You've seen the people that attend these cons. You can imagine there would be people wanting to dress up as Muppets and slightly militarized milkmen.
That might already be happening at certain cons. They might be playing this game already. and now we know what they're doing. You see a milkman wander through a con, point and say, "Aha! Muppets that way!" and see what happens.
Then you see this big green furry thing
That
running.
explains why you do that to strangers that we meet at cons now, I guess.
Announce which direction the Muppets are coming from. Look out, Kermit! That
No, I never understood it.
yeah. I don't know. All right, so Milkman, Muppets, sci-fi.
See, another thing that occurred to me when you first said pigs in space, Warhammer. Only it's the faction of milkmen, faction of Muppets.
So
and
this is where
the
chaos
realistic future.
has gone a direction that the chaos overlords didn't quite think through.
Exactly.
Skulls for the throat of the Milkman.
So the Space Marines would all be delivering the milk. And the Muppets would be like the Zerg. Flying at your face while you douse them in milk. Soggy their cookies.
Hey, the milk might be
Oh,
corrosive to them.
see there, soggy cookie. There again, if the milkmen are on the bad side and they're trying to go after cookies, that's just
Okay.
going down the wrong path. I
To be
think.
fair, I like soggy cookies. I am very guilty of putting my cookies in a bowl and then just covering them with milk. And
So
eating
you
them
would
like
chase
cereal.
after the milkmen
Probably.
dressed as a giant Muppet and
Probably.
confuse them.
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
And confuse
I need a giant,
everybody.
enormous cookie monster chasing milkmen through the halls. There doesn't have to be any other rules, as long as people see you.
I like this idea.
that could be the entire LARP. There's
Got milk?
There's no real goal. There's just Muppets and milk delivery guys running about the place.
Chaos,
Until
insanity. That
Maybe more of the game is to see how long before security escorts you out.
They're surprisingly fast. But look, we're running out of time. Running out of time, right?
All right. Thax wants to get to more of the show. So,
I think
we'll pause. We'll pause with Muppets and Milkman, and we'll get on to the show. Stay tuned for more after this. Hey, Adventures in LARP fans. I'm here today out in the Slaughter Creek Park in Austin, Texas, for a new bit we're calling Courtney and Jesse Learn to LARP. So you've all seen Courtney here on screen and Jesse behind the camera, for those of you with osmosis and just know who's behind the camera. But they have little LARP experience, and I know that some of you might have little LARP experience. So we decided to go and hit up a bunch of different LARP groups and see what it takes to play some different games.
Alright, so you've never played it all before, right? No basis for anything? At a very basic level, it boils down to hitting each other with sticks and having fun doing it.
I've done that in high school.
Okay. We've had the sticks, so it might be a little safer than what you were doing in high school if you're using like brooms or something.
Yardsticks.
Yeah,
Science club.
This will probably be a little bit safer because they're designed not to hurt. Weapons, the game we're going to be kind of indicative of these. This is a flat blade where you can only strike on the slightly more padded end, and the round ones are omnidirectional, you can hit them anywhere. Our target zones, it is a vitals system, so torso includes from like your shoulders to your underwear lines. That is a kill shot. If you are wounded, like an arm, you're fighting without an arm. If you are hitting a leg, you have two options. You can either drop and crawl with that knee on the ground, or you can post and not move that foot at all. If you choose the option where you're crawling, you're a little more mobile, and an additional strike to that leg will not provide an additional wound and not kill you. If you choose to post, an additional shot will be an additional wound which will kill you. So classes, for the most part, are going to be marked with a sash that's going to be color-coded to what you are. Like red, you're going to be a healer. Orange, you're going to be an archer. Yellow, a wizard, so on. We can go into those in more detail, I guess, later. I recommend new people, like brand new people, probably try monk or barbarian, depending on if they want to use a shield. Barbarians can start off throwing javelins and rocks in addition to their melee stuff. Monks at second level can start throwing heavy throwing weapons, so like throwing daggers and axes and things. What your class can do is not... You have a certain number of abilities, but most of the game boils down to what you can physically do with it. If you can physically shoot someone with an arrow and you're playing an archer, you're going to do a lot better than an archer who can't hit the broadside of a barn. If you can physically hit someone with a stick, you're going to do a lot better as a barbarian than the one who just swings wildly and makes a lot of noise. Wizards are going to be a lot better if they can hit someone. But yeah, getting out of the way of
speed talking.
Getting out of the way is immensely useful. Like just not getting hit with things will go. You'll do much better. You'll spend a lot less time dead.
Well, yes, Adventures in LARPing fans, that is Crazy Carl selling off magic bolts right here in the middle of game.
It's not my fault. They wanted to buy.
You thought we wouldn't notice.
Forget you.
Black Phoenix, remember? Whoops.
Whoopsie. Good try.
You were a little too late to sign up for this. They might let you jump in if you want to.
It's an Iron Man. You can jump in.
Yeah, so we're just begin fighting.
There's a green and gold striped over by the bow. Grab that sword.
There's a purple sword on the ground over there you can grab too.
Grab any of those swords.
Are you ripping air?
I told you I suck. Got my hand.
Okay.
On your
Your
weapon?
hand on weapon doesn't like count as your weapon.
It's here.
Wrist up.
Pretend like as if you have like a
It's
guard
up here.
around your hand.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a sword guard. Think like that.
You did get me.
Yes.
You got me. Elbow.
Yeah, it was like.
So you're,
No, you connect with my elbow.
Well, yeah, that's okay. So that's arm dead. What you do is you just switch.
You just switch your hands.
Hit him. You just switch hands, and go like that. Okay.
Take him!
Sorry.
Ah!
I get you.
Got my.
Okay.
That's
It's
connected.
dead. Just connected. Dead.
Okay.
Okay.
So back to the line and we keep going. Well, you can still hop in on this.
Ready?
Iron Man offhand. That would be a kill for Good job.
Hi. Hi. How are you? Good.
Oh, hey, he just got his first mark of the warrior.
I just got my 3 kill though. 3 kill streak.
did.
That's all that matters. Oh. Cool.
Come on, Crazy Carl.
He's got the rest.
Yeah. When do barbarians get in there?
Brown and white ones.
You don't like it one arm.
Okay.
Flame is the school, the duel is the school, command is the school, death is the school, spear is
The
the
bottom
school.
one is the green relic. The enlightened soul one.
Do you sold this division of these skeletons enough that I don't need a silver?
The bottom one is
Yeah, the only one that's silver is the one I'm currently wearing.
I mean, I can go put my kites on, but I should slow.
You're playing the metal game. Weapon check.
Yeah.
Ah.
You go.
Get him! Form a stone! Did he come back?
Dead.
Perfectly when I pursue. 1, 2,
Where you going?
Hey!
Where you going?
7, 8, 9.
Fine.
Kill you and make you go over there.
Can't.
Yeah, you can fireball his ass.
Oh my wow!
Hey. Poison tactic. What? Yeah, there's a fireball on your arm. Yes. I got your leg. Did I?
Leap away.
She's flat.
Bye-bye.
You know, one here. Watch out!
Run, Finn!
To the left. Charge my poison. Yeah. Do a scraping. I got a cookie in the chef. I don't think I get him with anything. Not a lethal kill shot. No, but it's funny enough most people think.
So, you guys first time at a LARP event and down here hanging out with Amtgard. What'd you think?
Fine. I am sweaty.
Lots of running around. Lots of
running around.
Getting killed. Lots
Right?
of killing.
I think my tabard needs to have a big target.
Right there and right there. Or also right there.
You know what? I barely got hit here.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Did you go for there?
No, it was legs and arms.
All right, well, we're going to roll back to the studio and get some more show. But first, we want to say a big thank you to Amtgard, Slaughter Creek. Thanks for having us, guys. Hi, Adventures in LARP fans. We're back with the tail end of our seemingly never-ending project. So we finally completed this arch. Here are the two sides put together, and you only see in the top of it, you see kind of how tall it is. This is again so that we can have a door open and put it around a door frame if we want. Right now, we have it in my living room, which is large and taking up space. But as soon as I take it apart and take it all down, it fits into a nice little area out in the garage. Now, we finished it off. We did all of our painting. Got it all nice and looking kind of how I wanted it. Of course, like I mentioned before, you can paint it in all sorts of different ways. We went for sort of a large, stacked up, rockish, carved sort of look. You could do some extra pieces on here and paper mache over that. You can paint it any way that you want, add runes in and all that sort of thing. If you really wanted to get fancy, you could even cut into a spot where you could get inside and add electronics and lights and maybe sensors for when your people walk through, that all of a sudden the lights turn on and do all that sort of stuff. But I get ahead of myself. When we finished, the way we finished off the top here is, this is just some scrap fabric. and we took a longer piece than necessary. It made a loop on one side and a loop on the other, looped it around the PVC poles that run on the top part. Remember, there are 4 PVC poles here to give it some sort of blockiness, and went ahead and could put it on up there. Obviously it's a little bit baggy in spots. I'm okay with that because I'm not going to be using it in a real light intensive sort of area. It's always going to be kind of dimmer and that sort of thing where I'm going to be using it. You can do it any way that you want. Now originally when I was first designing this, I was going to do another one of these across here instead of just the little ones. The reason we did not do that, as I mentioned before, is if something happens, I can hit these pretty hard and not much is going to happen. I'm not real worried about people running into it and that sort of thing. But stuff happens. It's LARP. If something happens enough that one of these is pushed out and this comes down on somebody, it's going to be fabric and maybe a piece of PVC and not a full-on wooden structure piece that's fallen on somebody's head. Depending on your surroundings, depending on exactly what you're trying to do, of course you can do it in a number of ways. And if you have, say, a non-combat or not as active LARP and you wanted to put something like this across the top, you could certainly do that. Adds to the amount of paper mache that you're doing, and trust me, it's a lot of paper mache. It's a lot of time with the paper mache. It ends up looking pretty good. They are nice and sturdy. I've got a couple of marks on mine where my cat decided to see how well the paper mache stood up to claws, and now we have to sacrifice her. Okay, joking, LARP joke, not sacrificing the cat. Nonetheless, it's another sign that when I store it, I need to store it in the garage and not just in the house. Even though, between us, it's kind of cool here in the living room. I want to turn the whole living room into like a cave sort of thing. And then I'm going to have to find somewhere else to sleep, because I won't be allowed in anymore. So I know this project took all season long to finish here. I'm real happy with the end result. I know I promised more projects, and we will have more on future seasons of Adventures in LARPing. That's the show that we're taping. Crazy that. So definitely hang with us, and if you have any questions, shoot them our way. We will get more projects and more things just as cool as this, even cooler in future episodes of the show. Bye for now.